Got my water. How did you get out? Hi guys, Dr. Dana here. I wanted to, well, I had a little time, so I figured I would do a short pop-up video about breathwork and how to calm your central nervous system when you have a short amount of time. So, just want to make sure my internet connection's working. I think it is. Yeah. Okay, so I always tell everyone this, that a regulated central nervous system is probably, in my mind, the best gift that you can give to yourself or to anyone else, to your kids, to your coworkers, to people that you have difficulty with. Maybe it serves you more than them, but it by far is the best thing that you can do, because it allows you to respond rather than react. And when we can respond rather than react, it not only helps us to conserve our own energy and place our energy where we actually want it to go, so stay true to our own intentions, but I think it also really helps to keep your end goal in mind. And so instead of saying like, this is bad or this is good, this is serving me, or this is serving my end goal, or it's not serving me. So that being said, I wanted to go over a couple of techniques for breathing. And, you know, breathwork doesn't have to be 20 minutes a day. It could be involved or like with a yoga session. It could be before you go to bed at night. Even just 5 minutes, even just 3 minutes a day will help to rewire your brain into a new state of being, basically. And this is not some, medicine voodoo, alternative medicine voodoo. This is actually brain science. When you read, if you do some research on positive habit coaching, we are able to rewire our brains with practice. It's the same thing as learning a new sport. If you want to learn how to play tennis, you would go out and practice. You can't just expect to be good at that sport without practicing. If you want to learn how to sew, or if you want to learn how to do any other, golf, you have to go out and practice. And eventually, over time, you'll probably get better than where you were. I mean, most people will improve to some extent. You might not be pro, but so this is the same concept. And when the process of getting better at something means that you're making neuronal connections in your brain, and hence and perform that task more efficiently and more effectively and faster. So, just 3 to 5 minutes a day, I think, really makes a difference for most people. So the first thing that I want to start with is alternating nostril breathing. This is really simple. You can use your thumb and your middle finger, however really it works for you, but I tend to put my middle finger on my left nostril, so like my person left nostril, and my thumb on my right nostril. Typically, in the yogic tradition, the right nostril is considered the more masculine energy, or the more solar energy, and the left side is considered the more feminine energy. Oh, it's a little warm. The more feminine energy, or the lunar energy, basically. So, apply that as you wish. But this technique is pretty simple. So you're just going to take a deep breath and out. And I want you to focus one more time. And when you're breathing, I want you to focus on actually letting your belly go and breathing into your belly and up through your chest, and then out through your chest and then out through your belly again. So most of the time we are taking sort of short, deep, or short, shallow breaths, and we're not, we're trying to hold our bellies in, and we're not particularly moving our bellies at all, and I want you to do the opposite of that. I want you to pretend like nobody's watching you and it doesn't matter how big your belly is. I want you to really inhale through your belly, expand, and then up through your chest. And then exhale through your chest, and then into your belly. Okay, let's try that one more time. In through your belly and up through your chest. Hold it for a second, and then out through your chest and your belly. Okay, so alternating nostril breathing simply starts, let's start with an inhale through the right nostril, and then you're going to close the right nostril with your thumb, and then you're going to exhale through the left nostril. This is on your anatomy. And then we're going to repeat by inhaling through the left nostril and exhaling through the right nostril. So let's try it. Ready? Inhale through the right nostril, plugging the left nostril with your middle finger or first finger, and then switch your fingers and plug your right nostril. When I say plug, I mean just push you don't have to actually stick your finger up your nose. And then exhale through your left nostril. And then inhale through your left nostril, plug with your middle or first finger, and exhale through your right nostril. Inhale through your right nostril, plug with your thumb, and exhale through your left nostril. I want you to just keep doing this a couple more times. And you can hold at the top if you want. And you can also hold at the bottom if you want on the exhale. I'm going to give you some counts now. Ready? So inhale through the right nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And then exhale through the left nostril and hold. Inhale through the left nostril and hold. Exhale through the right nostril and hold. Inhale through the right nostril and hold. Exhale through the left nostril and hold. I want you to repeat this another 4 or 5 times. I'll use my bell to bring you back. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I'm going to try to silence my notifications right now because they are coming through like crazy. Okay, there we go. So that's just an example of alternating nostril breathing. Pretty simple, nothing significant. And then the last thing that I just wanted to show you or talk to you about was diaphragmatic breathing, and that's what we were doing at the beginning. So the diaphragm is underneath your lung area and your ribs, basically inside. And when you breathe in, your diaphragm is pulling down, so it's actually a negative pressure situation, physiologically speaking. where your diaphragm pulls down and it creates like a suction almost, and that helps you to breathe the air in. And then you breathe out and your diaphragm closes back up again, if that makes sense, and pulls back in. And running through your diaphragm, there's a nerve that you've probably heard of called the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is basically innervating, going to your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest nervous system. And this is why this is so important, is that we can actually stimulate our vagus nerve by slow diaphragmatic breathing. And we know this because, when you're in fight or flight mode and you're breathing quickly, your heart rate goes up, right? And you can actually calm yourself down by just taking slow, deep breaths, and you'll notice that your heart rate comes down as well. So this is just a very simple example of our ability to actually control our autonomic, or our just operating on its own nervous system. The heart is part of that nervous system. The breath is part of that nervous system. It's the system that even when you're not conscious and you're sleeping, those things are still moving in your body and they're still working. We used to think, oh, we have no control over this, but that was more of a Western culture thing. But we've always had some control over the system. So simply by taking deep breaths, so you breathe in and open up your abdomen and stick out your belly and feel your diaphragm expand, and then up into your chest and hold, and then breathe out. And this is where you can pull your belly in to get the rest of the air out. So that's called deep diaphragmatic breathing. And that's really, really helpful. Even if you just set a timer for 2 minutes to begin with and just focus on breathing, you'll notice your mind wanders, and then you come back. You just bring yourself back. If you find that you're having a judgment about, like, I can't do this, my mind is constantly wandering, just let the judgment go. That is the process. Your mind will wander, especially when you're newer to this. Your mind is going to feel like it might be going 1,000 miles per hour. And the process is simply noticing that and then bringing yourself back to your breath. And then you're going to get distracted again, and you're going to bring yourself back to your breath. Your breath gives you the focus. It's going to happen over and over and over again. So if you notice you're having a judgment about it, like you're not good at it, or it's, you're struggling, just let the judgment go and just remind yourself that, hey, Dr. Dana said this is going to happen over and over again. It's normal. I'm just going to bring myself back to my breath. So I hope that was helpful. Sorry, there was a little bit of noise in the background between the dog and a neighbor and a blower, but I'm actually about 2 weeks post hysterectomy, and that's why I haven't been on in a little while. But I'm going to try to get back to doing my regular Tuesday night sessions, various different topics. So if you're interested in anything in particular, you can simply shoot me an email. It's info@lovehealthdpc.com. So it's D as in dog, P as in Paul, C as in cat. So info@lovehealthdpc.com. In peace and health.